MMA Fitness Pasquale here. Welcome back to the beginner series. We're talking about the roundhouse. Okay, front and rear. So what I want you to do is get into your fight stance. That's where we always start. Okay, the first thing we're going to look at is the front roundhouse. The way we do this is by opening up our hips and getting our foot around and getting our hip over. So let me show you how that works. What we're going to do is take our back foot and open up our hips. Step out. Step straight out, okay? Just a small step, maybe about 3 or 4 inches. We're not stepping forward. Now, the way you know you're not stepping right is when you throw your kick. If you step forward and your leg comes straight up like this, you're not stepping correctly, okay? Now, what we're going to do is open up our hip, okay? My hips are open right now, and I'm going to bring this knee up like we've talked about before to get that hip motion coming out, and we're going to rip our whole hip and knee right over while standing on the ball of my foot, okay? So here, right? And you can see now my back foot turns, my heel almost turns completely towards you. And that's where I'm going to generate all that turning and whipping power, by getting that whole motion down, right? So that's one thing I just want you to practice is on both sides. We're going to step out, bring our knee up, and turn over and step back down into our fight stance. Do that a few times, right? And you'll notice this hand is coming around and giving me a little balance. It's also a sweeping hand. This guy's staying back and it's doing the block, right? So here, I step out, I'm doing my motion, and I don't even care about throwing a kick right now. I just want to get that down, right? And turn my hip over. Like we talked about before, wherever that knee points is where your foot's going to go. Now, same thing with the rear, okay? We are going to step our front foot out and open up our hips, okay? Once our hips are open, you'll notice now my front hand is now, my rear hand is now my front hand, and my front hand is now my rear hand, doing the block, right? So now my rear hand is doing the sweeping motion right here, right? And I'm going to come back to my stance, open up, back to my stance, and bring that hip around, okay? Now, practice that over and over again, and we're going to throw the kick. The kick is going to come around with the power, and you're going to hit the shin. You're not going to hit the top of your foot or your toes. You'll break them. I've seen it. It's horrible. I've done it. You want to hit with your shin. It's the hardest part of your leg down there. It's going to do the most damage, right? So we'll just hit bottom the ribs right here. Let's start with a front kick. Again, fight stance. I open up my hips. I'm going to bring my knee up and use this as a pendulum, right? And sweep. My block is up here, bring it around and come right back down, right? Here, back down, right? I'm always falling back into my fight stance. I don't want to do this, all right? That means you're off balance and you're going to get countered and it's going to be real ugly, right? So here, I stepped out, I'm on the ball of my foot, I'm sweeping, and I'm coming right back down into my fight stance. So, same thing with the rear. I'm going to step out, open up my hips, bring this hip up, or my knee up, and I'm going to use my now front hand to sweep and give me balance. Right here, I open up, I throw a kick, and come right back down. Okay? Practice, practice, practice. I will see you on the next one.